In this video, I'm going to introduce and prove the 3 laws of logarithms that you need to know. So these are essential rules, and they're just like the indice laws that you probably learned at GCSE, but now are logarithm laws. You must know the rules. You don't necessarily need to know how to prove them. So once I get onto the proofs, if you're not interested, you can skip over, but I'd love it if you did because it's good for your mathematical health. Let's have a look at what the laws are. All right, so here are the 3 logarithm laws. You'll notice I haven't written a base for any of these logs, and that's because the base can be anything as long as it's the same throughout. So sometimes you'll see them, you might have like log base x of ab equals log base x of a and plus log base x of b. As long as the base is the same across this whole equation, it's true. But it could be anything. It could be log base 2, log base 5, log base 12.9. Any base, these are true, as long as it's the same across the whole thing. So it couldn't be, for example, log base 2 of AB equals log base 3 of A plus log base 10 of B. That wouldn't be true. Okay, so here they are in all their glory. So the log of 2 numbers multiplied together is the log of the first number plus the log of the second. Slightly surprising, you might have expected it to be maybe multiplied, but it's log of the first number plus log of the second. That's called the addition law, by the way. It's sometimes called the addition law, sometimes called the multiplication law. You can see why, because it's addition here, multiplication there. The subtraction law, or the division law, is that log of one number divided by another is log of the number on top minus log of the number on the bottom. And the final law, the power law, is if you've got log of one number raised to another power, it is that power times log of the original number. You can think of that power as just sort of flying down to the front like that. So there are your 3 laws. When you use them, you have to be quite strict. Notice that we don't have any coefficients in front of them. So if you've got coefficients in front of any of these numbers, it can kind of muck things up. We'll look at that more in future questions. Okay, let's prove them. So the addition law. So I'm going to, let's say that we've got a base of x, let's say, throughout. So I'm going to prove these using indice laws. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do x to the power of both sides. X to the power of the left should equal x to the power of the right. So x to the power of the left is x to the power of log base x of ab. And that should be equal to x to the power of log base x of a plus log base x of b. Or at least it should be if that's true. Well, if you watched my last video, you'll know that x to the power of log base x of ab is just ab. Okay, they just cancel because x to the power of is the inverse of log base x. We can use some indice laws here because you've got x to the power of something plus something. So when you've got x to the power of a thing plus a thing, indice laws say that you can split that up into x to the power of the first thing times x to the power of the second thing. Now, using what we know about logs, x to the power of log base x of a will x to the power of and log base x of just cancel their inverses, and we're left with a, and for the same logic we're left with b here. So yes, indeed, those 2 things are the same because they both reduce down to the same expression. Okay, similar idea, or exactly the same really for this one. Again, I'll use a base of x just to show that it could be any base. If I do x to the power of both sides, I get x to the power of log base x of a over b equals x to the power of the entire right-hand side, log base x of a minus log base x of b. So let's see if this works. Well, your x and your log base x just cancel, and I'm left with a over b. Now what about this? Well, indice laws say that if you're subtracting powers, that's the same as x to the power of the first term divided by x to the power of the second term. So that's another much loved indice law. What have we got on the left hand side now? Well, x to to the power of and log base x just cancel, and we're left with a, and for the same reason we're left with b here. And indeed, a divided by b is a over b. So there's that one. My favourite proof is reserved for this one. My favourite log proof, not my favourite proof in the world. My favourite log proof is for this. So in fact, I'm going to use a technique we used in our layout we used earlier in the course. So that's right-hand side, and this is actually an identity, isn't it? Right-hand side, let's give ourselves a base of x as well. So the right-hand side is log base x of a to the power b. Now, a to the power of b is a multiplied by itself b times. So that's a times a times a times potentially lots of a's here. And the idea is that there are b lots of these. So that a appears b times. You know, if it was a to the power of 9, there would be 9 a's there. Okay, now we can use our addition law. Let me just flick back to remind you. Our addition law says that if you've got log of some things multiplied, you can rewrite them as log of those things added up. So log of something times something is log of first thing plus log of second thing. So we've just got tons of things multiplied up here. So by the first log law, this must be the same as log base x of a plus log base x of a plus log base x of a, and we just get that lots of times. How many times? Well, b times, right? Because there were b of the a's in there. So all of this happens b times. Well, if it's literally b times that, like this thing b times, well, then it is just b times log x of a. But look, that was what we were trying to prove in the first place. So lo and behold, that is the, oh, I got my lefts and rights wrong. That was the left-hand side, and I proved that it is the right-hand side. There are the log laws, there are their proofs. In the next video, we're going to look at using them. So I'll see you there.